Hi, my name is Akeim Toussaint To Move. I am the artistic director of Toussaint To Move, and I'd like to welcome you to the sharing of the Foe. The Foe is about the relationship between the inner critic and the inner child, the conflict of these two energies within an individual, most specifically black men from marginalized backgrounds. Looking at how these two energies coexist within an individual and how they can sometimes help each other and sometimes work against each other and can be a detriment to the individual's self-actualization.
Hi, my name is Ouro-Gnao and I'm a dance artist and collaborator for the Foe. The first stage of the process has been really successful and fruitful, and it's been really enriching to work with Akeim and separately explore our different physicalities and movement vocabularies and bring them together to create and explore aspects of the inner child and that lightness, and seeing how two bodies in the space can communicate different parts of the inner child. So it's been a very rewarding process.
The work came about because of I want to say an incident that happened. I was working in a school and I had to go from the school to a community event, and I left like a pouch that had my passport and my wallet and keys and everything inside of it in the school. Not until I got halfway to where I needed to be that I realized I left everything. So then I had to cross the road, get on another bus, go back to where I needed to be, get my things, get back on the bus. And when I got on the bus and I sat down, I just started to write this poem. And the poem was basically just talking about, the inner turmoil of how you can blame people outside of yourself, or blame entities outside of yourself, or everything around you, and then also come back at yourself about certain things and how you want to achieve certain things and you also want freedom, but it feels as if there's just so much that's encasing you inside of the rat race or inside of this battle with yourself and your goals. It just felt really right when I wrote that poem. It really depicted how I was feeling at that time, and I named the poem The Foe. And the improvised performance that I did was basically shaped around the poem. Basically made the performance in like 3 hours, with like a voice note of me performing the poem and then using my voice like a beatbox thingy, and then messing with the words kind of way and then dancing to that. So that's how the idea came, and I thought, I really want to work on this. I really want to pull this apart and turn it into something. And then later on, I decided that it's a duet, because after reading the poem over and over again and looking into it, it felt like there was a duality taking place, because at certain moments I'm really a victim in a way, and then in other moments I'm taking responsibility for stuff again as well. So it's like this push and pull that I really wanted to capture.
I'm really looking forward to getting into the movement aspect of things to really solidify how myself and Akeim's movement vocabularies really communicate and join together. I'm also looking forward to kind of rounding off the piece and looking at both the inner child and the inner critic, because for this process we want to look at the inner child and to look at the dark aspects of both and seeing how they communicate with the light. I think it would be really interesting to get all of that together in unison and explore the final vision of the work.
The next development of the work is to bring in other collaborators. I want to invite in a cellist player and a kora player and a sound designer to capture their sounds, but also to capture the voices of myself and Isaac, to develop a soundscape which will accompany the work. Why a cellist and a kora player? Well, it's the melodic textures of those instruments, but also seeing how we can experiment to find other sounds that those instruments can make. Why the voice? Because the voice, I want to really find the emotive textures of the voice and see how a laughter, the crying, these very guttery, stomach wrenching in a sense sounds can become a part of the soundscape to further accompany the emotional aspect of the work. So the first stage development of the work felt really successful. We really dived into an aspect of the movement language that we want to express in the work. I feel like we generated a lot of material that we can really continue to play with in the next stages. And yeah, it felt very rich and enriching, looking at mainly the inner child, but also how that energy of play between the inner child and the inner critic as physical beings can happen. So it felt very good. I'd like to thank Kadele for supporting this first stage of the work, and I look forward to continuing this collaborative relationship and hopefully performing the work here when it's finished.